Hello friends, today we are going to continue the novel The Naughtiest Girl in the School, chapter 3. If you haven't seen chapter 1 and 2, the link is given in the description. Chapter 3, Elizabeth Makes a Bad Beginning. It was 1:30 by the time the children arrived, and they were all hungry for their dinner. They were told to wash their hands quickly and tidy themselves, and then go to the dining hall for their dinner. Ellen, please look after the three new girls, said Miss Thomas. A big girl with a kindly face and a mass of fair curls came up to Belinda, Elizabeth, and another girl called Helen. She gave them a push in the direction of the cloakroom. Hurry, she said. So they hurried, and Elizabeth soon found herself in a big cloakroom, tiled in gleaming white, with basin down one side and mirror here and there. She washed quickly, feeling rather lost in such a crowd of chattering girls. Helen and Belinda had made friends, and Elizabeth wished they were say something to her instead of chattering to one another. But they said nothing to Elizabeth, thinking her rude and queer. Then to dining hall went all the girls and took their places. The boys clattered in too. Sit anywhere you like today, said a tall mistress whose name Elizabeth found was Miss Bell. So the children sat down and began to eat their dinner hungrily. There was hot soup first, then beef carrot, dumplings, onions, and potatoes, and then rice puddings and golden syrup. Elizabeth was so hungry that she ate everything put before her, though at home she would certainly have pushed away the rice pudding. As it was the first day, the children were allowed to talk as they pleased. There was such a noise as they told one another what they had done in the holidays. I had a puppy for Easter, said one girl with a laughing face. Do you know, my father bought a simply enormous Easter egg and put the puppy inside and tied up the egg with a red ribbon. Goodness! Did I laugh when I undid it? Everybody else laughed too. I had a new bicycle for my Easter present, said round faced boy. But it wasn't put into an egg. What did you have for Easter? Said Ellen to Elizabeth in kindly tone. She was sitting opposite and felt sorry for the silent new girl. Belinda and Helen were sitting together, telling each other about the last school they had been to. Only Elizabeth had no one to talk for her. I had a guinea pig, said Elizabeth in a clear voice, and it had a face just like Miss Thomas. There was a shocked silence. Somebody giggled. Miss Thomas looked rather surprised, but she said nothing. If you weren't a new girl, you would be jolly well sat on for that, said a girl nearby, glaring at Elizabeth. Rude creature! Elizabeth could not help going red. She had made up her mind to be naughty and rude, and she was going to be really bad. But it was rather dreadful to have somebody speaking like that to her in front of everyone. She went on with her rice pudding. Soon the children began to talk to one another again, and Elizabeth was forgotten. After dinner, the boys went to unpack their things in their own bedrooms, and the girls went to theirs. Whose room are the new girls in? Please, Miss Thomas, asked Alan. Miss Thomas looked at her list. Let me see, she said. Yes, here we are. Elizabeth Allen, Belinda Green, Helen Marden. They are all in room 6. Allen, and with them are Ruth James, John Townsend, and Nora O'Sullivan. Ask Nora to take the new girls there and show them what to do. She's head of that room. Nora, hey Nora, called Ellen, as a tall, dark haired girl with deep blue eyes went by. Take these kids to room 6, will you? They are yours. You are head of the red room. I know, said Nora, looking at the three new girls. Hello, is this the girl who was rude to Miss Thomas? Just you mind what you say. Whatever your name is, I am not having any chick from you. I shall say exactly what I like, said Elizabeth boldly. You can't stop me. Oh, can't I? Said Nora, her blue Irish eyes glaring at Elizabeth. That's all you know. Get along to the bedroom now, and I will show you all what to do. They all went up a winding oak staircase and came to a wide landing. All around it were doors marked with numbers. Nora opened the door of number 6 and went in. The bedroom was long, high, and airy. There were wide windows, all open to the school gardens outside. The sun poured in and made the room look very pleasant indeed. The room was divided into 6 by blue curtains, which were now drawn back to the walls so that 6 low white beds could be seen, each with a blue eiderdown. Beside each bed stood a wide chest of drawers, with a small mirror on top. The chests were painted white with blue wooden handles and looked very pretty. There were 3 wash basins in the room, with hot and cold water taps, to be shared by the 6 girls. There was also a tall white cupboard for each girl, and in these they hung their coats and dresses. Each bed had a blue rug beside it on the polished brown boards. Elizabeth could not help thinking that it all looked rather exciting. She had only slept with Miss Carr before. Now she was to sleep with 5 other girls. Your trunks and tuck boxes are beside your beds, said Nora. You must each unpack now and put your things away tidily. And when I say tidily means tidily. I shall look at your drawers once a week. On the top of the chest, you are allowed to have 6 things, not more. Choose what you like, hairbrushes or photographs or ornaments. It doesn't matter. How silly, thought Elizabeth scornfully, thinking for her own untidy dressing table at home. I shall put as many things out as I like. They all began unpacking. Elizabeth had never packed or unpacked anything in her life, and she found it rather exciting. She put her things neatly away in her chest of drawers. The pile of stockings, vests, bodices, blouses, everything she had brought with her. She hung up her school coat and her dresses. The others were busy unpacking too. Whilst they were doing this, 2 more girls danced into the room. Hello, Nora, said one, a red haired girl with freckles all over her face. I'm in your room this term. Good. Hello, John, said Nora. Get on with your unpackings. There's a lamp. Hello, Ruth. I have got you here again, have I? Well, just see, you are a bit tidier than last term. Ruth laughed. She was the girl who had handed round her sweets in the train, and she was plump and clever. She ran to her trunk and began to undo it. Nora began to tell the new girls a little about the school. They listened as they busily put away their things in their drawers. Whitleaf School isn't a very large school, began Nora, but it's a jolly fine one. The boys have their lessons with us, and we play tennis and cricket with them, and we have our own teams of girls only too. Last year we beat the boys at tennis. We will beat them this year too. If only we can get some good players. Any of you new girl play tennis? Belinda did, but the others didn't. Nora went on talking as she hung up their dresses. We all have the same amount of pocket money to spend, she said, and it's plenty too. 2 shillings a week. I shall have a lot more than that, said Belinda in surprise. Oh no, you won't, said Nora. All the money we have is put into a big box, and each draw 2 shillings a week from it, unless we have been fined for something. What do you mean, fined? Asked Helen. We finds us, Miss Bell and Miss Best. Oh no, said Nora. We hold a big meeting once a week, oftener if necessary, and we hear complaints and grumbles, and if anyone has been behaving badly, we fine them. Miss Bell or Miss Best come to the meeting too, of course, but they don't decide anything much. They trust us to decide for ourselves. Elizabeth thought this was very strange. She had always thought that the teacher punished the children, but at Wetlife it seemed as if the children did it. She listened in astonishment to all that Nora was saying. If there is any money over, it is given to anyone who particularly wants to buy something that the meeting approves of, went on Nora. For instance, suppose you broke your tennis racket, Belinda, and needed a new one, the meeting might allow you to take the money from the box to buy one, especially if they thought you were a good player. I see, said Belinda. It sounds a good idea. Look, Nora, here are the things out of my tuck box. What do I do with them? I want to share them with everybody. Thanks, said Nora. Well, we keep all our cakes and sweets and things in the playroom downstairs. There is a big cupboard there and tins to put cakes into. I will show you where. Elizabeth, are your tuck box things ready? If so, bring them along. We will put them into the cupboard to share at tea time. I'm not going to share, said Elizabeth, remembering that she hadn't been naughty or horrid for some time. I shall eat them all myself. There was a horrified silence. The 5 girls stared at Elizabeth as if they couldn't believe their ears, not share her cakes and sweets. Whatever sort of a girl was this? Well, said Nora, at last, her merry face suddenly very disgusted. You can do what you like, of course, with your own things, if they are as horrid as you seem to be. Nobody would want to eat them.